Hi everyone, my name is Harmony Perry. Today I will be doing my article presentation on urban constructions about school, work, race, and ethnicity. The article was written by David Bluestein and a few others in 2010, um, located in the Journal of Counseling Psychology. So to address a few of the questions that we were posed with, the research problem in the article states that we're going to be looking at the achievement gap between the poor and more affluent areas, and exactly analyzing how to maintain that gap or close that gap. Something else in which we're going to be looking for are research goals and objective from the research is looking at students and whether or not they internalize the connections between the work that they do in high school and whether or not that affects their outcome later on. For instance, for students who put more work into their high school efforts, are they more likely to be successful afterwards once they graduate? Um, in addition to that, the research question that was posed was how many students understand the correlation between the effort they put into high school coursework and their overall high school careers, and how does that translate into after work graduation? So basically, for the number of students who put in rigorous effort, how does that then translate once they graduate from high school? Another thing, or the hypothesis that was used, was students who do well in school, they tend to usually have better outcomes in terms of work opportunities and maintaining a job after high school. In addition to those things, the research method that was used, there was a survey that was used to pull 32 different students from northeastern high schools in the United States. The survey included questions of did students understand or were they aware of the effort that they were putting into high school coursework, and exactly how were they aware of their positioning in terms of the schools that were targeted were urban schools. So in these urban schools, were these students aware of what was expected of them in terms of how society viewed them? And then how does that project whether or not they'll be successful afterwards, after high school, after graduating? The results that were found include that majority of the students articulated a connection between their high school work and what was expected of them afterwards, or what was more likely to become of them afterwards. So for students who put in more work, who didn't procrastinate as much in things in terms of their coursework, they were more inclined to be successful afterwards, meaning they understood the coursework or the high school preparation was for their after high school life. Um, Another thing that was addressed in the results was students of color. They were more likely to face difficulty because of their realization of that, although they may put in this work in the high school setting, there are still other effects or other variables that can contribute to their success after graduating high school. One other thing that was addressed was whether or not doing well in high school was actually a result of doing better in life overall. Okay. Some of the limitations that I felt were not addressed as outside factors. So whether or not students were encountering things outside of the high school setting that was basically determining whether or not they were successful in high school, because students who had a little bit more um, environmental factors or in impositions, they were less likely to continue with school. Also, urban schools have higher dropout rates. So I would also like to see this research study done in more affluent areas, as the research simply just focused on the number of students who were aware of their surroundings and what was the likely success rate of those students in urban areas once they graduated. So focusing in a little bit more on affluent areas and maybe doing a comparison would be something I would say should be focused on a little bit more about the research. But other than that, that is all that I have to say. Thank you for listening and have an amazing day.